Alan. Thank you for spending time with us today, my friend. So, I hear that you got a phone call from 202-551-2000. Would you please tell me all about it?
Yeah, they said that they had information that I had information that might help with the MMTLP issue and asked me to file a formal complaint and walked me through doing it, and then told me how to make sure that it got eyes on it right away by putting time sensitive in all caps.
Okay, and you were able to successfully submit that, no problem whatsoever?
Yeah, exactly.
And did they give you any kind of, like, instructions, for thereafter?
They told me that I most likely would not be contacted,
You,
and I
you,
most likely would not hear back from them unless I was granted the whistleblower, and if
no,
that
no,
was the
no,
case, then they would pay me.
even then you do not. Okay, I want to be very, very clear. So I'm on this website right now as we're speaking. Okay, I'm sure that you can
And
see
I
it.
don't know anything about the complaint
No, but
side of that.
so when Ken Griffin was doing all his stuff, I filed a whistleblower complaint because I mean, hell, why not, right? I just felt like there's a
Okay.
conflict of interest, and something that I learned was that you actually have to come to a page. Okay, it's somewhere here on the office of the whistleblower, right? Claim an award.
Right.
Here it is. Okay, and what you do is you actually scroll down this list right here. If you see it on my screen, right? And you actually have to find the case, right? And then I never got that far, right? But from what I was able to gather when I was originally doing it, that's what they told me that I had to do. I had to come in and I actually had to
Oh yeah,
physically
no, they
find it
told me I
myself.
did not have to. They told me to do it a different way. They had me go and file the complaint, and in the complaint it asks you, "Are you a whistleblower? Do you want to be considered for the whistleblower
Yeah,
status?"
yeah. So
And
submit a
it's
tip,
on
pretty
the
much.
actual complaint on the tip form, and so you fill all of that in, and it gives you disclaimers like you can't be anonymous if you're gonna try to get compensated or any of
Well, no,
that.
no, no. You could, but you need a lawyer.
Right, but I can't do it as a private person without an attorney. And
Yeah.
so I just said,
Well,
okay, so I just left my name on it. I didn't care.
okay.
And I processed the form,
Okay.
and I wrote out my resolution that me and you have talked about in the past. What I felt would resolve this and give retail a opportunity to be made whole.
I mean, in all reality, a lot of people go ahead and they focus on the U3, right? When in all reality, I think more and more people should be focusing on the fact that it was, able to begin to trade to begin with. You know what I mean?
Well, and I agree with that, but that doesn't help get us out of the mess we're in.
Well, I mean,
So would
what does
actually
though?
help?
What do
Well,
you think does?
okay, so I'll tell you what does. They have a rule 10B-17
Okay.
in FINRA, and it says that FINRA has to give, they have to be given 10 days notice prior to the date of the corporate actions,
Mm-hmm.
the date that it's going to close. They have to be given 10 days.
Correct.
And so the assumption that I put forward, or the argument that I put forward to them, is FINRA doesn't have a fiduciary responsibility to the dealer broker's clients. And
Correct.
they're not responsible financially to them, but the dealer brokers are.
Correct.
And so if this government authorized agency needs 10 days to go over this paperwork to make sure it's lawful and correct, and all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted,
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't the dealer brokers who are responsible for these people's financial side of this, shouldn't they be afforded the same luxury of having that 10-day time period to be able to process correctly, so that they have the correct time, just like FINRA does,
Mm-hmm.
to know how to move forward and be able to have everything set up so we don't run into the mess we ran into.
Now, I find
So,
this a little bit coincidental that you're having this, how you got that same phone call from the SEC, right?
Yeah.
Again, 202-551-2000. You got the phone. You got that the call from them the same day that you had an hour-long conversation with John Berta. I find that very interesting.
Well, what's funny is the phone call was stemmed from somebody that went into the Salt Lake City office.
Really?
Yeah, and I had talked to somebody at the SEC in Salt Lake like 2 weeks ago and emailed the guy and basically gave him a rundown of what I thought would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And it possibly came from that interaction, from the way she was talking to me. She just wasn't super clear.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe.
I don't know, but I believe it was probably stemmed from that conversation 2 weeks ago.
I'm sure. Obviously, the contact with Berta didn't hurt either.
No, not at all. And so I was able to talk to them,
Uh-huh.
and they walked me through how to file the report and where to file it.
Uh-huh.
Told me how to make it, put the time sensitive in all caps on the top.
Uh-huh.
If they take and they agree with me that this rule needs to be put in, and hey, we're going to do this from now on for everybody, they're going to make an adoption to the rule.
Well, they should, in all reality, because they can't let that continue over and over again. They're going to find themselves in hot water regardless. But I'm looking.
Right. And it allows the SEC to make all the people whole.
Yeah.
And I broke down why and how I felt they should do that.
Mm-hmm.
I put specific numbers in it that I'm not going to discuss because I don't want to get in trouble for collusion.
Yeah.
But it was just a general reference. It wasn't like you should do this exact. It was just something along these lines.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Essentially, I gave them a out for all of this, and we'll see if they take it.
Well, I would love.
How awesome would it be if one of your viewers got them to turn the trading back on?
Well,
let retail get made whole, and then go after the bad actors slowly so it doesn't destroy the market.
I think it's pretty awesome that one of my viewers got a phone call from the SEC telling them to go ahead and file a whistleblower complaint within itself.
Yeah.
Now,
right.
I do, in case you haven't noticed, right, I want to let you know that you are entitled to 10 to 30% of the money collected from monetary sanctions.
Holy crap. Are you serious?
I'm staring at the page right now, my friend.
Wow.
Congratulations to you. This is Alan. He's writing a book. It's regarding the retail saga with MMTLP. That's all. I'll just say thanks to Alan for all the hard work he's done, and he filed an official complaint with the SEC because of an SEC I guess request.
Right, which I think is pretty awesome.
That's awesome, man. I'm sure that you're gonna have a lot of people that see this video that are gonna buy your book.
Hey, you know what? I hope so, because it's gonna help the people that are getting screwed. And I still don't know what we're going to do if everybody gets made whole and nobody gets screwed. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the proceeds from the book, but I guess we could figure out something.
I'm sure we could figure out something, and obviously, I'm sure that we could make everybody agree on a good way to spend it, right?
Well, I think what we should do is, if they make everybody whole, we should do one of the big space calls with everybody, because if that happens, there's going to be an amazing space call.
Oh, absolutely.
And if that happens, we just put it up to a vote like we did with the hashtags, and let the majority of the people decide what should happen with it. Because It was for our entire group. I had a lot of help with it from the whole group.
Absolutely.
So it might as well benefit
everybody.
Somebody that the group feels is worthy, I guess.
You know what I also would be behind? One hell of a vacation if we had enough money.
Well, I'm going to say something along the lines of, maybe we put it, we give it to one of these attorneys and say, hey, you got to take on so many cases.
Well, like pro bono cases, like as in keeping someone on retainer.
Yeah, well, not keeping somebody on retainer, but just having an attorney that's an SEC qualified attorney that would say, hey, you know what, if I get if somebody calls me and says, hey, I'm having this issue, I'm getting screwed, and they're legitimately getting screwed, that they could use those funds to pay for the attorney to, not get screwed.
I think that's an excellent idea.
And it's just something we can put out there.
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah. No, I think that's an excellent idea.
I just wanted to go to something like that.
I'm happy that it seems as if some kind of progress is being made as opposed to relentless space calls over and over and over again that kind of get not much accomplished. Like a lot, like it's great to have the knowledge, right, and all that, but at some point in time it's just beating a dead horse. So it feels really good to have something concrete being done. You know what I mean?
Well, I know you feel like it's beating a dead horse, but there are a lot of people that are really frustrated with this.
Well, I know.
That have no outlet. And
No.
I think it's giving them a place to vent, and I think it's helpful for the people that don't have anybody.
Absolutely.
And they're really upset over this. I believe it gives them a place to blow off the steam and feel like they have a home in the community.
And I do love the community because, like, I mean, for instance, when I was speaking last night, we were speaking to Jennifer, and she literally hurt her bottom dollar with one of her businesses in order to go ahead and put a disclaimer on something. You know what I mean? Like,
because she put the patients first. That was amazing.
That's fantastic, and I think it's such a great community. The point that I was trying to make was, we talk and we talk and we talk, and while it may be good there for therapeutic purposes, right? For getting things done, it doesn't, it wasn't really getting us anywhere after a certain point. You know what I mean?
No, and I agree with that, but I think it is beneficial and helpful to the community because it gives, like I said, it gives people a place
space.
That don't have anybody.
Yeah.
And it gives them a voice, and it lets them feel like they're important. And what's really funny is half the time when they're complaining, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm alone. This is happening to me. I don't know anything
See, the thing is, they're not alone, though.
They're fueling my fire.
Oh, I agree.
It makes me work even harder because that's somebody that doesn't have anybody to fall back on. And as a community, we can stand up for each other and work together.
I agree.
That makes me so proud to be part of the community.
I just want to say the thing, though, is they're not alone. And a lot of us are feeling the same exact way. It's just, it's great to have each other to lean on. But at some point, I mean...
I get it. It's not for everybody.
No. I love doing it, but at some point, it just, I'm dealing with, like, myself being, a little bit frustrated about the play. You know what I mean? Hearing other people, over and over again. At some point, market theory, can only go so far, and we're in uncharted territory. So, like, what do we say besides, oh, man, I'm sorry? You know what I mean? That's the only point. That's the only. But I do love the camaraderie, absolutely.
Yeah, and, Marduk and...
Fantastic.
Or Marduk and Edward and those guys and John Berta, those guys are phenomenal.
Fantastic.
All the people that have worked on this, these are some of the smartest people in the world.
Fantastic.
And they've come to help us normal folks, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you just spent an hour on the phone with John Berta, you know what I mean? And you're saying us normal folks, you know what I mean? The average person would be like, well, you have a connection with John Berta directly. You know what I mean? So it just...
No, and I understand that.
So
I don't put myself on the same level as the guy that got beat up for like 5 years and kept getting up fighting back, even when he was fighting the biggest, baddest bully on the block.
That deserves a clap. I agree with you. That deserves a clap.
I mean, he wouldn't stay down. So, like, that guy inspires me because who can get kicked in the teeth 500 times and it's like, I'm not done yet. Let's go again.
I'm just really happy that, like, progress is being made. Rather than talking about it, Alan,
and I don't know
you're being about it.
Is being made, but I'm hoping it's getting something done.
Alan, you had somebody from the SEC call you and tell you to file an official whistleblower complaint. Something's being done.
And I feel the same way. I don't think they would have wasted their time.
Yeah, me either, bud. Well, you know what? I'm going to let you go on that note. I can't wait to see what comes of it, and thank you for telling us all your story, my man.
All right, later, bro.
All right, later. And that was Alan. Please go ahead and check out his book when it releases. I will be here for a little bit longer, but I'm gonna go ahead and clip that later.